Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us, where today we're going to tell you about the Japan Self-Defense Forces. The Japan Self-Defense Forces are the unified military forces of Japan that were established by the Self-Defense Forces Law in 1954. They're controlled by the Ministry of Defense, with the Prime Minister as Commander-in-Chief. In recent years, the Japan Self-Defense Forces has engaged in international peacekeeping operations with the United Nations. Tensions, particularly with North Korea, have reignited debate over the status of the JSDF and its relation to Japanese society. Since 2010, the JSDF has refocused from the former Soviet Union to the People's Republic of China, increased military cooperation with Australia, India, Taiwan, South Korea, Singapore, and the United Kingdom, along with the United States, and also acquired new or updated equipment and hardware. When it comes to structure, the Prime Minister is the Commander-in-Chief of the Japan Self-Defense Forces. Military authority runs from the Prime Minister to the Cabinet-level Minister of Defense of the Japanese Ministry of Defense. Each service branch is headed by their respective Chiefs of Staff. The Chief of Staff of the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, and the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. The Chief of Staff, the 4-star Admiral or General, is the highest-ranking military officer in the Japan Self-Defense Forces and is the head of the operational authority over the Japan Self-Defense Forces, executing orders of the Minister of Defense with directions from the Prime Minister. The Chief of Staff supervises the service branch's operations and would assume command in the event of a war, but his or her powers are limited to policy formation and defense coordination during peacetime. Of its military expenditures, it features a budget of $46.1 billion with a 1% GDP. Japan's Ground Self-Defense Force is also referred to as the Japanese Army and is the land warfare branch of the Japan Self-Defense Forces. It would be created on July the 1st of 1954 as the largest of the three service branches. New military guidelines announced in December of 2010 direct the Japan Self-Defense Forces away from their Cold War focus on the Soviet Union to a new focus on China, especially in respect of the dispute over the Senkaku Islands. In 1989, basic training for lower secondary and upper secondary academy graduates began in the Training Brigade and lasted approximately 3 months. Specialized enlisted and non-commissioned officer candidate courses were available in branch schools, and qualified non-commissioned officers could enter an 8 to 12-week officer candidate program. Senior non-commissioned officers and graduates of an 80-week NCO pilot course were eligible to enter candidate schools, as were graduates of the National Defense Academy at Yokosuka and graduates of all 4-year universities. When it comes to manpower, it features an active personnel of 247,000, with a reserve of 56,000 and 27,300,000 available. Land forces feature 686 tanks with 2,905 AFVs, an artillery of 1,179 featuring 226 self-propelled guns and 99 rocket artillery. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, also simply known as the Japanese Navy, is the maritime warfare branch of the Japan Self-Defense Forces, tasked with the naval defense of Japan. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force was formed following the dissolution of the Imperial Japanese Navy after World War II. Its main tasks are to maintain control of the nation's sea lanes and to patrol territorial waters. It also participates in UN-led peacekeeping operations and maritime interdiction operations. The total naval fleet consists of 129, which features 4 aircraft carriers, 38 destroyers, 6 corvettes, and 17 submarines. The Japan Air Self-Defense Force, also informally referred to as the Japan Air Force, is the air warfare branch of the Japan Self-Defense Forces, responsible for the defense of Japanese airspace and for other aerospace operations. The Japan Air Self-Defense Force carries out combat air patrols around Japan, while also maintaining a network of ground and air early warning radar systems. The branch also has an aerobatic team known as the Blue Impulse and has provided air transport in UN peacekeeping missions. It features a total aircraft of 1,654 that has 154 fighters, 134 multi-role, and 719 helicopters. That's all for this time. Let me know what you think about the Japan Self-Defense Forces in the comments below. Also, be sure that you like this video and subscribe to learn more about military history in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.